Hi, I'm Helena, the founder of Strut Hair Solutions, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm often asked what was my inspiration for starting Strut, and as many of you have seen online, and I'm sure you've met her in the store, today I'm super excited to introduce my mom so that she can go in her story and kind of tell us what your journey with wigs and hair extensions and kind of how you got started with them, which then ultimately led to my inspiration. So, Mom?
Well, I just was born and raised with thin hair, fine hair. In the 70s, growing up in high school, that was okay. It worked, but as I got older, it worked less and less. The more I would pay attention to what was going on with my hair, I noticed the crown of my head would be separated, like through the wind and everything. So I'd have to check it numerous times throughout the day, spraying it, pinning it, but doing everything except gluing it together. And then as time progressed, I noticed it was happening in the front.
Right.
On my hairline, it was getting really thin. And one time I went to lunch with my dad, and as we were leaving, he had walked me to my car, and I was just getting in, and he looked at me and paused, and he said, "You could read a road map through that." And I also noticed he was no longer looking at my eyes, he was looking right here at my
I
hairline.
had that with my grays.
At least you had hair, right?
That's true.
Even though it was gray, at least it was hair.
That's true.
I got in the car, devastated. I looked up in the rearview mirror, and sure enough, I thought, I can read a road map through this. That was the turning point where I knew I had to do something. I didn't know what, but I knew I had to do something. And my experience has been in the hair industry. You can call any place and say, "Do you have someone there that specializes in fine thinning hair?" Inevitably, they'll say, "Yes, we do."
Of course.
Well, no, they don't. Because I've done everything. I've had perms that made me look like a poodle
Yes.
on my way home, okay? Where I literally was so embarrassed from one instance that I had at a hair salon, I waited until dark to drive home. I didn't want anybody to see it.
Right.
I couldn't wash it out fast enough.
Right.
Unfortunately, it was a perm, so it didn't wash out. But you learn to live with that stuff for a while. Well, and then my experience once you started getting into hair, or right before that, they were doing weaves, and I look at photos, going through a photo album, and the evolution of my hair journey has been comical at best. From lots of hair, that when you go and say you want hair, they give you so much hair,
So
you're overwhelmed.
Right.
Yeah, you're overwhelmed. And not only are you overwhelmed, it doesn't look like your hair.
Right. It's
So
too much.
it doesn't look right anyway.
Right.
So now you're back to square one. If you're not going to look right, you might as well not have your hair. So it's amazing to me, though, now how fashion forward and everything the hair really has become. With the rooting on it, with the natural hairlines. You don't have to have that big bulky bang. The hair it doesn't act like a wig.
Right.
You would assume.
Right.
From way back when we used to joke and say they look like little bowling balls, little heads, and you could pinpoint. It's amazing to me at how many people have not a clue that you're wearing a wig.
Right.
I worked for years with co-workers. They would ask me repeatedly, "Who does your hair?" And they genuinely meant it. Because at first you think, "Oh my God, they know it's a wig."
Right.
No, they don't. They really mean, "Who does your hair?"
Well, just so you know, this wig just came out of the box. Literally, we shook it, put a little bit of hairspray on it, and you look amazing.
Yeah.
It's like an instant
It
facelift,
feels
right?
amazing. And that's just one of the side benefits from wearing it.
10 years younger.
Oh,
That's what
my
I tell
gosh.
clients.
Even sometimes when I take my wig off at night, or I'm doing my makeup or something, nothing is complete until that wig gets on. And you get that wig on, and it's just like the icing on the cake, and you're ready to go.
Now talk about how it felt when you first started wearing a wig. You have to get used to it.
Oh, absolutely. It's a little bit uncomfortable. It doesn't feel natural, because it's not your hair.
Right.
But what I've always said, it is what it is. Losing your hair is not natural.
Right.
To be the age that I was when my hair started thinning
You were
wasn't
like my
natural.
age.
Yeah. Oh, I was.
Yeah.
younger. I was younger than you.
Yeah.
I've struggled with my hair since high school.
Right.
Well, let me be really honest and tell you, as a baby, my nickname was St. Peter because of the rim around my head of hair. I mean, so I've just always had thin, mousy hair.
Yeah.
So you have to learn to deal with that, and this is the best option. I will tell you, bar none, is the wig.
Well, and we have
I can't
stages.
imagine not having it.
Because if I would have been doing wigs when you first started searching, we had toppers at the time, and now we have topical products. We have the full wigs. So really, there's 4 stages of hair loss. So depending on wherever someone's at, you know, for you, the wig works amazing because you don't have to style your hair. You shape and go. We put that on in 5 minutes. For myself, my hair is thick on the top, but the bottom started thinning out over the years. And so the extensions are awesome because now I have that length that I want, because most women, once we get older, our hair won't grow past a certain length.
Right.
So now I get the length I want, I get the fullness, because thinning hair looks older. And I feel like I look younger, I mean, by having more hair, just like yourself. And so really there's something for everyone in here, whether you're 25 and you just want to have Kardashian hair, or whether you're 55 and you want to have, you know, that thick, full, voluptuous hair that, I mean, you look 45.
And you feel younger. The minute you put it on, if you can just overcome the fact that you know it's a wig, because trust me when I tell you, most people are not going to have a clue you're wearing a wig.
And it becomes a part of you.
Well, and a lot of people, when I tell them I'm wearing a wig, first thing they want to do is touch it. They'll say, "Oh no, you're not."
Right.
So my biggest little tagline has always become now: if somebody has perfectly great, luxurious, lovely hair, trust me, it's not theirs.
Right. Oh, right. Everybody's using hair now. It's like the eyelash extensions or acrylic nails, where everybody feels okay with that. But I think that what I notice with the customers is they get used to having thinning hair, so that becomes their new normal. So when we add hair, whether it's via a topper, extensions, or a wig, they don't see themselves with that anymore. You know, they identify themselves with thinning hair.
It's unfortunate.
What was that like to all of a sudden have thinning hair and then boom, you have more hair?
It is an adjustment. You do have to get used to it. Yes, it does feel different, but it feels different in a good way. If you'll just hang in there for a day or two, it actually, the minute you walk out, you start getting compliments. You don't, and you don't even have to go that far. You know, for me, the minute I looked up in my rearview mirror and could no longer read a road map, I didn't even need a compliment.
Right.
That sealed the deal for me anyway.
And you stopped getting the sunburns when you go fishing.
Yeah.
And you come back and your scalp was sunburned.
Absolutely.
I tell people scalp health. We get a lot of clients that get moles and they have skin cancer on their scalp, and now they don't have that anymore.
Well, and the little bit of hair that I do have is much healthier.
Right.
It's much healthier. I don't have to color my own hair anymore. You know, I don't have to worry about it.
You save a ton
I can
of
go
money.
The wigs pay for themselves.
Right? Trying to get that color at the hairdresser without breaking your hair off.
I thought, you scared me. I thought you were going to say, try to get that hair off her head. And I was say, she's right. Right?
Well,
I'd take somebody to the mat to keep my hair on.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to stop by today and share your journey with our clients, because I know a lot of women feel the same way you do, a lot feel the same way that I do, and what we do here is we really want to empower you. I feel like having hair is empowering, and when we look in the mirror, we want to feel good about what we see. And so I invite you to come into Strut and take a peek at what we've got to offer. No obligation, just try some stuff on, see how you feel, and then you're gonna walk in, but you're gonna strut out.